Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this. What is it that weighs you down? What holds you back from embracing the peace and joy you deserve in these years? You've lived through many chapters, each adding its own weight, whether visible or hidden. But what if I told you that, after age 70, it's time to throw away more than just the physical clutter? Yes, it's time to let go of the mental baggage, too. The emotional anchors that have kept you from fully enjoying the years ahead. This video will explore the 5 key things you should discard, not only to lighten your life, but to create the space for new opportunities and happiness. By throwing away these burdens, you will embrace greater clarity, freedom, and joy. Imagine living with peace of mind, free from the need for approval, regret, and the weight of past mistakes. Now, I invite you to reflect with me. What is it that holds you back? And how can this shift in perspective unlock the potential for a more fulfilling and authentic life? Let's explore together how you can truly live life on your own terms, starting now. From a young age, society teaches us to seek approval, to fit in, to meet others' expectations. But after 70, holding on to this need is no longer just unnecessary. It becomes a burden. Imagine a life where you can finally speak your mind, set boundaries without guilt, and make decisions based on what truly matters to you, not others. This newfound freedom will bring clarity and allow you to foster deeper, more meaningful relationships. The value here is immense. By letting go of this burden, you are free to be authentically yourself, without the pressure of others' judgments. Your time is precious, and the more you invest in being true to who you are, the more fulfilling your life becomes. And this isn't just about saying no to others, it's about saying yes to you, to your peace of mind, and to a life that feels lighter and more genuine. As you release this weight, you'll find that the relationships you maintain are rooted in mutual respect, not resentment. There's a sense of liberation that comes from no longer being tethered to the expectations of those around you. At this stage, it's your time to enjoy the fruits of your labor and live on your own terms. By the time you reach 70, you've lived a life rich with experiences, some joyous and some challenging. Regret can be a heavy burden, pulling the past into the present and stopping you from fully experiencing the present moment. But what if you could release that weight? What if you could stop fighting a battle that can never be won? This video will show you how to turn regret into lessons. Instead of reliving past mistakes, you'll discover how to transform them into sources of wisdom. The value of this shift is life-changing. It allows you to stop being chained to what could have been and start embracing what is. You'll have the space to focus on what truly matters today, and you'll free yourself to look forward with hope and possibility. Releasing regret will open up a world of clarity and peace. You'll find yourself not burdened by what's behind you, but empowered by the lessons it's taught you. No longer will your past hold you back. Your future will be bright with potential. The truth is, no one moves through life without making errors. The truth is, no one moves through life without making mistakes. To expect a life free of missteps is to expect something unnatural, something impossible. Instead, a much more productive approach is to learn from those mistakes, to extract the wisdom they offer, and apply it to the present. It's not the mistakes that define us, but how we choose to grow from them. As you approach or cross the age of 70, this perspective becomes especially powerful. What truly matters is not what went wrong years ago, but what can still be done with the time that remains. Every day is an opportunity to act differently, to express love where it was once withheld, to practice gratitude instead of regret, to focus on the life ahead rather than the life behind. The past is a chapter closed, but the present and future are yours to shape. Regret is not meant to anchor you. It should be your teacher. We often find ourselves being harsher on ourselves than we would be on others. Imagine a close friend burdened with regret. Your response would surely be compassion, not judgment. So why should you not extend that same kindness to yourself? Forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness, is essential. Carrying regret indefinitely is not a sign of responsibility. It's a refusal to accept the reality of what is. Shifting your focus to the present. True responsibility lies in acknowledging the past, making peace with it, and choosing to live well now. When you shift your focus to the present, the weight of regret begins to diminish. There is still time to create meaning, to mend what can be mended, and to build a life unburdened by what cannot be changed. The past may be a story already written, but the final chapters are still in your hands. The future you create begins today. Let go of toxic relationships. As you reach 70 and beyond, it becomes clearer than ever how your relationships shape your life. Some connections uplift you, providing warmth, support, and encouragement, while others drain your energy and create unnecessary stress. By now, you've likely encountered both kinds of relationships. And as you move forward, it's crucial to recognize which ones serve you and which ones only hold you back. Toxic relationships take many forms. Those who manipulate you through guilt, criticize you constantly, or only show up when they need something. These relationships, even if they've lasted for years, create nothing but negativity. And one of the most common reasons people hold on to them is obligation. A friend from decades ago, a relative, or a longtime acquaintance, many feel that history alone is enough to keep someone in their lives. But history does not justify misery. Choosing peace over obligation. Letting go of toxic relationships is not an act of cruelty. It's an act of self-respect. Walking away doesn't mean wishing harm on them or holding on to resentment. It simply means choosing peace over unnecessary turmoil. Life is too short to spend time with people who bring nothing but negativity into your world. It is not selfish to prioritize your mental and emotional well-being. It's necessary. By removing toxic relationships, you open up space for something better. You'll create room for deeper, more meaningful connections with people who truly care for you. You'll also find moments of solitude that bring peace rather than loneliness. And perhaps most importantly, you'll discover a sense of freedom. The freedom that comes from no longer walking on eggshells, from no longer tiptoeing around negativity. Building meaningful relationships and embracing freedom. True friendships thrive in an environment where mutual respect, kindness, and understanding prevail. These are the relationships that become your foundation in the later years of life, the ones that support you, inspire you, and bring joy. As you grow older, prioritize these connections. They are the ones that matter most. And by doing so, you not only enrich your life, but you also create a space where your peace, happiness, and well-being can flourish. When toxic relationships are released, the beauty of real, fulfilling connections shines even brighter. Surround yourself with those who nurture your soul, and let go of those who dim your light. Remember, life at 70 and beyond is a time to invest in what truly matters, in the relationships that will support you as you continue to grow, learn, and live with purpose. As we reflect on the nature of relationships, it's clear that the ones worth keeping are those built on mutual respect, kindness, and understanding. These are the relationships that deserve time and effort, not the ones that drain, diminish, or cause constant stress. And at this stage in life, every moment becomes incredibly valuable. We're no longer in a position to waste time on people who do not bring light, joy, or sincerity into our lives. Letting go of toxic relationships is not a loss. It's a necessary step toward creating a life that is lighter, freer, and far more fulfilling. And yet, in the midst of this, there remains a universal truth. Death is inevitable. The one certainty that every person must face. Yet, so many spend their lives avoiding the thought of it, pushing it far into the future as something to deal with later. But after the age of 70, later is no longer an abstract concept. It's right around the corner. And that fear of death, that shadow, can subtly creep into the present, stealing away its richness. Instead of living fully, people can find themselves consumed by worry, dreading what's to come rather than embracing what remains. But here's the truth: that fear of death does not prevent it. What it does is prevent life itself. Death is often viewed as an enemy, something to be fought at all costs. And modern comforts, medicine, and technology have created the illusion that life can be extended indefinitely. But resisting death only magnifies the terror of it. The fear isn't really about the end itself. It's about the uncertainty of what lies beyond it. And while we may never have definitive answers to those questions, we do know one thing. It's far more rewarding to embrace life, with all its beauty and uncertainty, than to live in constant fear of the unknown. This is where acceptance comes in. Many ancient philosophies, whether Stoicism or Buddhism, teach us that remembering death isn't morbid. It's liberating. The awareness of mortality, when used as a tool, can remind us to live well while we still have time. And when we stop fearing death, something shifts. Time spent with loved ones becomes more precious. Simple pleasures carry deeper meaning. The things we once worried about, impressing others, accumulating possessions, fade into the background. The fear of death allows us to shift our focus to what truly matters. But perhaps the most powerful realization comes with a simple truth. Change is always possible. By the time we reach 70, many of us might feel that we've become fixed, stuck in our ways, with habits, routines, and perspectives that can't change. But growth doesn't stop with age. The mind, the heart, and the spirit are still capable of transformation, no matter how many years we've lived. There's no rule that says we stop learning, creating, or evolving after a certain age. In fact, history is full of examples of people reinventing themselves in their later years, discovering new passions, pursuing new relationships, developing new skills, or even embarking on new careers. It's about refusing to surrender to stagnation and embracing the idea that it's never too late to create something new, something meaningful. And if we look at it closely, the real weight of aging doesn't come from physical limitations, but from mental and emotional burdens. The expectations of others, the regrets of the past, the fear of what's ahead, and the belief that change is no longer possible. These are the burdens we've carried for years, and they've accumulated, shaping our experience. But the good news is, these burdens don't have to be carried forever. Letting go of them isn't an act of loss. It's an act of liberation. When we release these mental and emotional weights, life becomes lighter. Conversations are no longer about approval, but honesty. Relationships are no longer maintained out of obligation, but cherished for their genuine value. Time is spent appreciating what remains, not regretting what cannot be changed. The future is embraced, not feared. These are not small shifts. They are transformative ones. They reshape how we live, how we relate to others, and how we experience every single moment. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting the past. It means allowing the past to be the teacher it is, while moving forward into the future with curiosity and hope. The final chapters of our lives are still unwritten, and they can be shaped by resilience, growth, and the willingness to evolve. The truth is, there's always time to change. There's always time to redefine what it means to truly live. Life is not just measured in years. It's measured in the moments we embrace. And even now, the choice remains in our hands. How will we spend the time that remains? Will we let go of what no longer serves us and walk forward with a lighter heart, knowing we've lived fully, freely, and without unnecessary burdens? The choice is yours.